right, today we're going to talk about setting up and solving proportions. So, the good news is you guys really already know how to do this. We've already done this with percents, and so now we're going to talk about how to solve with a proportion when there is no percentage in the problem. Okay, so let's go through our examples. It says Intro to Proportions. We're going to practice setting up a proportion using WKU. Remember, WKU stands for words, known, and unknown, okay? So we're going to go through some example problems, and then you guys will be ready to rock and roll. Number one says an arrow travels 352 feet in 8 seconds when shot from a crossbow. Which rate is equivalent to the rate at which the arrow travels? Okay, so rate means how much for one. Okay, so we have 352 feet in 8 seconds. So yesterday we talked about comparisons, and today we're going to talk about what happens for just one person. So we have 352 feet in 8 seconds. So the first thing I'm looking at is order. Remember, order matters. And so I have 352 feet in 8 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to create a fraction using that information. The first number goes on top and the second number goes on bottom. Again, feet in seconds. It has to go in order. So when I look at my answers, this says seconds per foot. Well, that's the wrong order. Seconds per foot, that's the wrong order. Okay, we're looking at the words. The words have to stay in the same order. Feet comes first. So feet per second, feet per second. Okay, so now that I have the A and B marked off because they're in the wrong order, now I can look at finding out the specific rate. Remember, rate is per one. So I'm thinking, how much is this for just one? So I'm just going to cowboy and horse divide. Okay, I'm going to cowboy and horse divide and see how many feet per second. So I label, I write out my 352, I put my boots and hat, I set my table, and I put 8 outside. I write out my 8s, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, so on. Okay, and I start to divide. So I can see 8 does not go into 3, but it goes into 35, would be here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 above it. 4 times 8 is 32. I subtract and I have 3 left over. 2 comes down and I have 8 into 32, which is 4 again. 4 times 8 is exactly 32, and I zero out. So my answer will be 44 feet in 1 second. So all I did was I took this rate and I made it into a unit rate per 1. So 44 feet in 1 second. So that's going to be C. So again, the top ones were wrong because the words were in the wrong order. Remember, order matters. All right, question number 2 says if 4 folders cost $4.20, what is the cost of 1 folder? So what we're looking for is we're looking for 3 numbers. We have 4 folders. They cost $4.20. And then the question says 1 folder. So our words, we got to think about what are our words? Well, conveniently, our words are right after our numbers. So for what? 4 folders. So that's going to be my first words. 4 folders. $4.20 is money. So I'm going to put a dollar sign. So my words are folders and money. Now, what do I know? I know 4 folders and $4.20. I create a fraction. The first number goes on top, the second number goes on bottom. So 4 folders, $4.20. And my unknown is the number by itself. So the number by itself, it's normally the only number in the question. So the question says 1 folder. So I have 1. Does it go on top or does it go on bottom? Well, it's 1 what? 1 folder. So because it's 1 folder, it goes on the folder line. So folders, folders, folders. So this is going to be a 1. And then I am trying to find the cost. Okay, so now I'm going to cross multiply. 420 times $1 is 420. And then I'm going to divide by 4. So just like before with percents, I'm going to stack them. I don't have any zeros to mark off, so now I'm ready to divide. I put my 420 in the house. I put my 4 outside. I do not need to move my decimal because there's no decimal outside. 4 goes into 4 once, and then that's a 0. 4 goes into twice 0 times, okay? But 4 goes into 20 5 times. So what is the cost of one folder? It would be $1.05. Okay, and that's that. Number 3. Number 3 says if Snickers are 2 for $1.50, so again, 2 Snickers for $1.50, how much would 5 Snickers cost? So there's our 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. And normally when you have 3 numbers in a problem, it tells you WKU. Okay, so 2 what? 2 Snickers. So I'm going to label that as my first word. And the other one is $1. Okay, $1.50. So 2 Snickers for $1.50. Notice if I don't want to, I don't have to put the 0 on the $1.50. Okay, I can just drop it. And then over here, my question, right, my number by itself, right, notice these numbers are together, so they go together. And then my number by itself is my question. It's 5 what? 5 Snickers. So I find Snickers on my list, I trace it over, and that's where my 5 goes, because 5 is Snickers. I'm looking for the cost. Okay, so from there, I'm going to cross multiply. 1.5 times 5, 1.5 times 5. And I don't know that, so I'm going to multiply it real quick. 5 times 5 is 25. 5, 6, 7. So I have 7.5. And then I'm going to divide by 2. So 7.5 divided by 2. I don't have any zeros to mark off, so I'm ready to divide. So I write out my place settings, count by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I say 2 goes into 7 3 times. That'll be 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down the 5. 2 goes into 15 7 times, which is 14. I have 1 left over, so I'm going to need that 0. And 2 goes into 10 5 times. That's exactly 10. We zero out. So the cost of 5 Snickers will be $3.75. Okay? And again, this is not really anything new, except now instead of percent over 100, we have the numbers in the question. All right, question number 4. If a truck can drive 300 miles on 1 tank of gas, how many miles can they drive on 3 tanks? Okay, so I'm going to highlight what I know. I have 300 miles on 1 tank, so those 2 numbers go together. And then I have my number by itself, 3 tanks. Okay, so I don't have my blanks, but I'm going to draw them. So I have words, what I know, and my unknown. So my words, 300 what? 300 miles. And 1 what? 1 tank. Okay, those numbers go together and we know them. So 300 miles, it goes on top with miles. And 1 what? 1 tank. Okay, and if you wanted, you could make that into a fraction when you read it. 300 on 1. Okay, and then my question is 3 what? 3 tanks. So 3 is actually going to go on the bottom this time because that's where tanks are. And we're looking for miles. So now I'm ready to solve. I'm going to cross multiply. 3 times 300. And I get 900. And I'm going to divide that by 1. Remember, anything divided by 1 is just that number. So how many miles? They can go 900 miles. And that's that one. And our last example says, Arnold has $20. He can buy 21 tokens for $6 at the arcade. At this rate, how many tokens can Arnold buy? So we have 20 by itself. So that's its unknown. And then we said he can buy 21 tokens for $6. Notice that those are together in the same sentence. So those are going to go together in our WKU. Okay, so we have our WKU set up. We have 21 tokens and $6. So I'm going to put that what I know. It's what I know because it's together. Those are partners in the same sentence. And then my unknown, my question, my U, is the $20. If he has 20 bucks, how many tokens can he buy? Okay, 20 goes on the dollar line, and we're looking for tokens. Tokens is on top. So we're going to cross multiply again. 20 times 21. and we should get 420. And we're going to divide by 6. So 420 divided by 6. I don't have any zeros to cancel out, so I can go ahead and set up my division. Okay, 6 doesn't go into 4, but it goes into 42 7 times. And that zeroes out. We can't stop though. We have to go all the way to our decimals. So 6 goes into 0 0 times. So how many tokens can he buy? 70 tokens. Okay? So just remember, the numbers that are together in the same sentence, they make the same fraction. And the number by itself is our unknown that goes with x. And that's WKU, guys. Proportions without percents.